Shalom, family. I pray your day is off to a wonderful start. For the past 2 days, I've been out in the garden doing some fall preparations, some cleanup out here, emptying out and taking down a lot of the plants that are now done for the season. I forgot to take the picture prior, but it was a mess out here before with everything overgrown and dead, and I pulled all of my tomatoes. Um, just trying to get everything cleaned up and also get everything prepared to start planting for the fall. Pulled up all the rest of the watermelons and the cantaloupes and all of that type of thing. So as you can see over here, where I used to have a ton of tomatoes and plants here, I've done pulled all of that up. Started washing out my containers. I still have some pots of dirt here that I have to dump and repurpose the soil to start getting ready some of my fall planting. So today what I've been working on along with the cleanup is also harvesting some of my moringa off of the trees. You can see them down there. They're all bare. I've harvested all of the moringa off of them. I am about to start winterizing my moringa and elderberry trees. And I also just did some research and learned that I am able, that you can also winterize your pepper plants. So what I'm going to do is this week we are going to be in the 80 degrees during the day, and we still have quite a few peppers on these that are still trying to come up. They are not quite ready yet, but there's quite a few out here that are coming up. So I'm going to let these stay for the next week or so to see if they reach their full potential. That way I can harvest those, and then I'm going to start winterizing these pepper plants, which means just cutting the leaves back and cutting them down to the bare V root, and then mulching them out real good, and then putting them into the greenhouse to maintain throughout the winter. So yeah, we're just out here trying to get ready for the fall, doing some spring cleaning up all of the harvesting our last harvest of peppers and squash and that type of thing. We had a few baby melons and things that was still on the vines, but we've pulled all of that up, pulled all of the tomatoes, because it gets so cold at night, those things are not going to reach its full potential. So we just pulled everything up, and we are preparing the yard for the fall. I forgot to do a before and after because it already looks drastically different from when we started 2 days ago. Forgot to get some footage of what it looked like when we started. But yeah, these are a couple of more of my moringas that we harvested today. And all of these moringas that I have here were grown from seed. So this is my moringa. This one is really tall, so I'm going to be cutting this. And we've already mulched it down to get it prepared for the fall. This here is a avocado tree that Mother Judah started growing, and it's doing pretty good. These two are the other two moringas that we've harvested all of the moringas off of. We will be making some moringa teas. So we've had 2 batches of harvest off of the moringas. One is just about dried out, and the other one we harvest today. So yeah, so these moringas trees, we're preparing them for winter. Right. In here in this greenhouse, we have our elderberry plants. So I have 3 elderberry trees in here, and behind that elderberry back there, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll do a close-up of it later, is that lemon plant that I had. And that was all, my lemon plant was grown from seed, and I have to show it to you now because it is really doing well. Okay guys, this is that lemon plant. Remember that seed that I cut out the kitchen? When I was in my kitchen, I took a seed out of a lemon, and this is the plant. This is it. I have grown this from seed. It is doing so well. It's getting so big. It's doing very well. It looks green and vibrant. So, of course, it has not produced any lemons this year, but prayerfully next year we might see some lemons. But this is grown from a lemon seed out of a lemon that I took out of my kitchen. So we'll be winterizing the elderberry plants, the lemon trees, our pepper plants, and the moringa trees. So that's what we're working on doing this week. And then preparing our starts here: greens, cabbage, kale, collards, and all of those type of things to be planted. So yeah, we're prepping for the fall. We've pulled just about everything that was in our garden beds. I still have some sage here. I've harvested a lot of it already and dried it out, but I still have some here that we'll be harvesting this week. And I have some beautiful, these are chocolate bell peppers, and they are beautiful. The camera is not really doing it any justice, but they are so pretty. I'll be digging that out and winterizing that. And then here on this plant, we still have some eggplants that are popping up. There's a couple of eggplants on here that are still trying to come up, so I'm not going to pull those yet. But all of the tomatoes that I had here on that end, the tomatoes that we had over here on this end, and then all the tomatoes that we had against this cage here, we've pulled that all up. Yep. And we are preparing for the fall. These here are some of the containers that we had growing stuff in, and we've pulled everything up. We are about to turn the soil, repurpose the soil, and start putting our greens and stuff in here. So yeah, the season has changed, and we are now preparing for fall. But what I wanted to show you guys, you see this plant here? This is an okra plant. This thing has gotten so big. I don't know if you can see that root on that, but this thing is huge. I never knew. This is, of course, our first full garden season, so this is our first time growing okra. I never knew okra grew like this. But as you can see up here, there are still quite a few okras coming in on this plant. So there's still a lot of growth here on this plant. So I'm going to keep this here for a little longer. And I know they said that you could even eat the okra leaves, but I know the stems, you could boil that down and make a nice tea. It's a medicinal plant as far as the leaves, and this okra plant has done taken over this garden bed. But I will keep it there a little bit longer and see what it does, and see what I could do with these roots. I don't know if I can make some teas or try to make something out of it. I have to do more research. But in the bed here now, I have some radish and turnips that are currently in the bed. Everything else has been taken out. So yeah, fall preparation is definitely underway. These are some of the grow bags that we've gathered that was in the yard that we will be pulling up as well. I know these are not going to produce anything. As you can see, there's a few baby melons on these, but as I mentioned, it's cold in the evenings now, so these definitely will not do anything. But we're going to empty these bags, repurpose these soils, the soil in the bags, and use these for our greens and things. So yeah, it's still a lot to do, but we are definitely getting there. This here is another, we still have a little squash here. I'm gonna probably be harvesting this before the bugs get to it. We did a little harvest earlier in the week with the last remaining tomatoes and peppers and a few squash and some herbs. But this is another okra that I did in a grow bag. This one has not produced much, but it is growing, but it just hasn't produced much. But the one that's in the garden bed here, we've gotten quite a few okras off of it. So yeah, we're out here prepping and getting everything ready for the fall. And here I have some of the moringas that we harvested today. So we'll wash these down and dry them out to go along with the other ones that we've harvested last week. And those have already been dried out, and we will make teas with these. Okay guys, the final harvest of our summer season. Butternut squash, okra. We harvested all of the remaining tomatoes we had out there, which was a few different types. Cherry tomatoes, plum tomatoes, garden delights, a few different types. We also got the remaining of the moringa as well. We have gotten our final watermelon and some of the peppers and remaining of the cherry tomatoes. Okay, guys, we have washed down that watermelon. It is the final watermelon of the season. Mother Judah has cut it up, and we want to give it a try. As we close out, we want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Grow with us on our journey. We're going to have Mother Judah do this taste test and see what she thinks. I think she approved. We want to give all praises to the Most High, thanking Him for all the provisions that He has provided us throughout this season. All you need is some seeds, some soil, a pot, and a prayer, and you too can sow and grow. God bless.